What's going on, everyone? This is Justin at New England Capper. I just want to welcome you to the channel. This is our first official video, and I also want to welcome you to our model building process. So I'm going to show you how to build a very basic model today. We'll take it through the weeks, we'll build it together, we'll make adjustments together, and then we can, hopefully by the end of the season and going into next football season, we'll have a model that everybody can use. I have a model right now personally that I've been working on for 4 years, and it's finally starting to pay off a little bit, and we are still making adjustments to it, and it's still not 100%. But I'm going to take my knowledge and I'm going to compare knowledge with other guys that I talk to, and I'm going to compare knowledge and input from you guys, and together we're going to build some models throughout the week, throughout the season, and then by the end of the season and going into next season, we should have a very basic but understanding, and hopefully can grow this model to where it's something actually really, really unique. With that being said, let's start this video right off. So this model will not take into consideration injuries, COVID, anything related to COVID. It's not going to take into home field advantage, East, West Coast division. It's not going to take anything of that good information. It's just going to give us a basic understanding. It will give you a good start to a model if you want to work on something by yourself. So you first need to have a place where you can get your odds from, and go from there. I start with Action Network. It's what I've been using. It's what I use for my own models. And it helps me just look at different lines. I like that for that reason, and I can see what every sportsbook has this line at. It also shows me what the line is opened at. I don't really pay attention a ton right now to line opening at 9.5, moving to 8.5, and it's 8 somewheres. A lot of people will say, yeah, the most important thing is watch your line movement. I agree, but with a model, we don't really necessarily need to watch it a ton, because our model is going to give us a number of what we like the certain team to get to, or what we like them to win by. So how this model works is I have it built over here, and I'll walk you through it. Right now we have team, points against, points for, difference in points against and points for, team, points against, points for, and difference in those, the line, and then the pick. So I'll explain all these numbers to you. I know it looks confusing right now. Again, very basic model, very basic understanding. So we'll start with FIU. FIU didn't play week 1. I don't believe they played week 2, and I don't believe they played week 3. They jumped in week 4, I believe. Correct? So this is why I have 3 zeros at the top here, 1, 2, and 3. So they haven't played, so we're not taking those into consideration. But week 4 came along, and they allowed 36 points, but they put up 34 points. So again, points against for that week was 36, points for was 34. You skip down, they didn't play week 5. They did play week 6. They allowed 31 and put up 28. Didn't play week 7. They allowed week 8. They allowed 19 and put up 10. So we're going to take the sum of the points allowed to give us a number, or to get us a number to go by. Right now, I see the biggest mistake with people in models is they take this number and they divide it by every single week. So they're dividing it by 11, and we're in week 11. And that's just wrong. They haven't played 11 games, so it's not going to give you an accurate number for average. All we're doing right now is we're finding averages to give us a start to a model. So the average for the points allowed right now is 28.6 points per game is what FIU is allowing. Now they're only putting up, they have points for of 24. Again, we divided that number by 3 because they played 3 games. So how we get our difference is we take our points against minus our points for. Always, it doesn't matter if the points for is higher than the points against, and that means the team's winning. But right now, FIU is losing on an average of 4.6 points per game. Now you jump over to Florida Atlantic. They started playing in week 8, week 9, and then week 10 they've played, and they are winning on an average of 4.6 points per game. Again, all I did for these numbers here was I added the sum of the column and divided by 3 because they played 3 games. So they're winning on an average of 4.6 while FIU is losing on an average of 4.6. These numbers don't always have to match. They very rarely do. It's just weird and coincidence that they happen to match now. But don't worry, don't get alarmed if they don't match. They're really not supposed to, or it doesn't matter if they do. Our line is taking the team with the lower number and minusing the team with the higher number for the differences. So all I did was I took the negative 4.6, I minus 4.6 over here. That'll give us the difference of those two numbers. That tells me that Florida Atlantic is winning this game by 9.3 points. The spread put out through this is 8.5 for the FIU game in week 11, which we're on. The spread's 8.5, 8 in some places, so it says Florida Atlantic's going to cover that. They wouldn't have covered the opening line, which is interesting, but we can grab them now at 8.5, and it's saying that they will cover. I don't necessarily love this play. It's very close to the number that they put out. The closer it is to the number you see on Vegas, the less confident I am in it. What I can tell you, and the most confident play, and the way to track these models, if you want a confident play, is when my model has an underdog winning outright. So if FIU came out on top saying FIU is going to win by 9.3, but in this line they have FIU as an underdog of 8.5, but it shows them winning by 9.5. I am pounding at 8.5 and possibly sprinkling some money on the money line play there for FIU. It doesn't happen a ton in the model, but sometimes it pops out, and I will confidently play that play in my model. You can do that in these models in this model that I'm showing you. It's just not taking into consideration COVID, and it's not taking into consideration other factors. So moving on from that, you can do totals with this. It's not the most accurate. It does work, and it can give you a good understanding. What you're going to do is you're going to take the points against for each team, add those up, 14, add, and 24. So very weird that these match, but they do. And then you're going to take your points for, add, and add. Add an extra plus sign there. I already did that. So points for is up top there, and then we're going to take our points against divided by 2, and we're going to take our points for divided by 2 because there's 2 teams into play here, and then we're going to take our 19s and we're going to add them up to give us 38, I believe, 38.3. The line through them is 41.5. So I do like the play. I don't love the play. Again, it's very, very close to the Vegas line on both ends as far as spread and the over-under. Both very close, but I would lean under on this aspect where my model that we've created is going to say 38.3. Other than that, that is really all I have for today. This was just an introductory video, a welcoming to the channel, and I'm hoping that I can gain some people here to follow us through. We can build a model, take each other's input, and see what we can come up with. Again, I have my own personal model that I've been working on for a very long time, and it's actually been very successful this season. NFL since week 4, because you can't play teams that haven't played 3 games. So since week 4 on, we're hitting at 61% in NFL, which is very, very good. In college, we've only been able to track 2 weeks, but 2 weeks numbers right now are crazy at 76 or 78%. So it's absolutely absurd. And we'll continue to track that and see if we can get some more solid, concrete plays out of it. So that's all I have for today. Appreciate you all tuning in, and that's all I got. Peace.